Good morning. Day 8 of 100. It's January 4th. As the day progresses, I'm like, oh man, I should have said this. Like, I want to share this. And I have all these things that I want to share. And then I come and sit down and I'm like, I don't know what to share. So I'm going to talk a little bit about forgiveness. I wrote down forgiveness, poison in the body, and what happened last night. So the first night, I tried to surrender into nothing, which means no distractions, being with myself. What do I want? What makes me happy, right? And it's interesting because when I took 2 weeks off, the first week I slept, the second week I was like, oh, if I'm not working, like I don't know what to do, um, especially if I don't have a partner. So I did some reflecting and found it. Whew, I found it. Um, a long time ago, not that long, maybe 5 years, 4 years, I rented this beautiful cottage, the most amazing family, like, oh, and I lived in this cottage in the middle of the woods. And at night, I would put on music, I would pour a glass of wine, and I would let inspired action move through me. And it was the best timeline of my entire life, was living alone in the middle of nowhere. I can't walk anywhere, can't be distracted. Best thing that ever happened to me. That family as well was the best thing that ever happened to me. Um, one of the many. Um, so last night, did that. I logged off work. It was just a little after 8. It might have been closer. Yeah, it was like closer to 9, I think. And I put on music and explored new music and sang my heart out, my poor neighbor. I'm not that great at singing, so I'm sure she loved that. Um, I sang, I paced around my apartment, and then all of a sudden it was like, ooh, so much calm and clarity. And oh, it's so good. Like, can I just experience that feeling for the rest of my life? It was amazing. Served me very well. Drastically added to my sticky note wall. That thing is getting pretty full with notes from the previous day me, or notes to the previous day me, as well as like some little fiery things to keep me, going in the same direction. So that was really incredible. Just surrendered in. I start talking to my guides, to myself, to my body, and it was glorious. And I'm like, I cannot wait to do it again. It was amazing. What I did discover too, this little thought sort of kind of started spiraling through me. Um, I experience fibromyalgia pretty aggressively sometimes, right? I shared that in another video. And then some other conditions. So I had been getting TMI, periods fucked up all over the place. I was getting eczema on my ring finger right here. Tell me, tell me. Pay attention. And I was having fibro flare-ups, experiencing them pretty aggressively, and a lot of physical pain, immense exhaustion, my digestive system not cooperating with me at all. And that's been clearing up a lot. And then had to deal with some things that I did not want to deal with, um, at all, but the choice. So I had to have a conversation that I didn't feel was necessary. But some people need more information. So I went into that conversation, and within an hour, my guts were a hot mess. I tried to eat dinner, couldn't digest it, bloating, pain, discomfort. And I was like, oh. So last night in my surrender, I sat with my hands on my body and just like I started at my knees and I just was like, what do you want to share with me? And then this thought of, if we get really sick, okay, so let's say we get a cold or a flu, or we drink poison, our body will go into reaction to shed, to remove that virus or the poison if we ingest it. I'm not saying anyone's poison. It's not my point. But what I'm saying is, when you are digesting energetically things that do not serve you and things that slow you down or create confusion or create pain or create a sense of loneliness or create mental disharmony, your body is going to try and shed that energy. It's going to try and purge it the same way it does if you were to ingest it. That was interesting. So a lot of reflecting on that. And I journal quite a bit, so I can flip through my journal and see what are the highs, lows, what was going on in my life with the highs, lows, because I try and link them together all the time. And so that was a huge eye opener. So today is listening to my body. Now we know there's things like muscle testing, there's like all these different tools to listen to your body. And I do check in with my body quite a bit, but when we are mentally distracted, we cannot become emotionally clear. And so I'm not gonna, this is the whole surrender thing. I want to release all mental distraction so that I can become emotionally clear, mentally clear, obviously, physically clear, spiritually clear. I feel like my spiritual life is so open and big and huge and connected and all these things. And my mental body is strong, man. My mental body is so strong. But my emotional body, we have 4 bodies. So I've got spiritual, mental over here going for it. And then I've got emotional, physical over here going, can you please pay attention? And I didn't realize how much attention I was not providing those bodies. So today is when I go into my surrender tonight after work, which I have a little bit more. I think I get from 7 to 10 tonight. I'm going into, all right, let's build the strongest relationship so that I never miss a beat with you. And I made some big promises to my emotional body and my mental body. I thanked my physical body for showing me and had a little chat with my mental body about, you need to pay attention to this one. We're a team. And I do that. I talk to them all like they're separate entities somehow. So there's that. So I feel really excited about this piece of my journey right now. And then forgiveness. Forgiveness is an interesting thing, isn't it? I tend to lean into the belief structure that forgiveness is a load of shit. I teach that in all of my moving from survive to thrive power 369 and why it's a load of shit. I feel that forgiveness is a guilt factor. And if you are seeking someone to forgive you, you are in fact just seeking the fact that they've forgiven you. So it's really selfish to me. Not a lot of people are going to get that. Very few people will get that, actually. But I think forgiveness is a very selfish approach. Can you right your wrongs? 100%. Do you need to seek forgiveness? Fuck no. Right your wrongs, demonstrate different behavior, or step the fuck out. That's it. Come into neutrality. And so I didn't want to go into asking my body for forgiveness. I wanted to go into next level. Hey, this is what we've been doing. Cool. I'm not guilting myself over that. I didn't fuck up. It just wasn't clear. So now I know better. So now I get to demonstrate doing better. So I liked that as well. All right, man. Short and sweet. Day 8. Cannot wait. Like, what the hell is 100 days of this going to bring? I'm on fire. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have the best day ever. It's Wednesday. I'm booked with Client Solid. I'm going to have the best effing day ever. And I desire that for you as well. Mwah. See you tomorrow.